Hi, welcome to Two Non-Doctors. I'm Liz Mealy.
I'm Maria Shahada.
How you doing, Cupcake?
Okay, how are you?
I'm good. I just had nobody wants to talk about it, but I had weird dreams, like really weird dreams last night. And I think it's because I went to bed early and now I'm scared to go to bed early.
Okay. Okay, so it's like your brain had time to get into
I
it.
think so. It was really epic. It was like full like beginning, middle, and end. And you're like, no, that's too much.
You made a whole movie in your head.
I made like two movies. It was like, yeah, I had so much time that I had two full weird dreams.
Okay. Well, I've been having weird dreams too, and I'll just say mine quickly. Tons of spiders in a room, but I think it's because like it's spider season. It was like there's always a daddy long leg everywhere I go in this house. I don't know if it's the same one or if there's just a bunch of them. And
So
the
you don't
last
kill them when you see it.
now I stopped killing spiders when I thought about karma too much. And like when I when I was
Okay.
little, did you I think I might have pulled the legs off of the daddy long legs when I was a child.
I feel like every kid did that.
Oh good. I was like, I might be a psycho.
No, I won't let you. I won't let you be out there by yourself. I'm pretty sure every kid at some point did that.
I appreciate that. But the last time I saw it, it was like over the stairs and it was like hanging there, like in the middle of the air. And I was like, you
It was like
can't do
holding
that.
one of its legs, like
Yeah.
you did this to me.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can be on a wall, be in a corner, don't be in the middle of the air. I don't want to just walk one day and be like, ah, there's a spider on my face.
Yeah, yeah. And they're like, I've been planning this moment.
Ah!
You go behind the walls, there's charts. They're like, she's 4'11, I'm 2 inches. We can do it.
I'm too weak. Uh yeah, and then yeah, so anyway, all right, let's get into it. What were your dreams?
One was about an ex-boyfriend, but like far, far, far ex-boyfriend, that the only reason his name came out of my mouth was yesterday. So I know there's some correlation between the fact that I said his name and then he was in a dream, but I like said his name in passing as an example of like why I don't want to do that anymore. So
Yeah.
I don't
And then
even
your brain was
understand.
like, let's hang on to that.
Yeah, like said his name, didn't linger on it, and it was an example of no thank you. And my brain was like, "Oh, you said his name?" And I just had an epic dream
Your brain
about
is like what ads are on Instagram. You like, I said chocolate once, and now it's like all chocolate ads.
yeah,
What?
100%, 100%. The algorithm of my brain is as fickle and aggressive as an Instagram algorithm. Like it is ridiculous. So I had this full epic dream about how I was at his place. We were going to get back together. Why, brain? Why? But he already had a girlfriend and she was just like, but you were here first. What?
That
What
makes
is
sense.
that?
That's
What is
absolutely
it?
true.
Um,
You were here first.
and then this is going to sound so crazy. I go to the bathroom, but his place has like a public bathroom. Like he doesn't have his own bathroom to his place. So we're already like in this dream. Run, Liz. Why is this acceptable? Um, so I go and there's no toilet seat on his toilet. So then he's rummaging around his apartment for a toilet seat for me. And I'm not even joking. In my mind, I was like, that's so thoughtful. This dream is like insane. So then, but also keep in mind when I say public, it's like public, like there's no walls. So I'm just sitting on a toilet
Like they had
trying to,
ancient Greece.
yeah,
Like
trying
a
to go to
row
the
of
bathroom.
bowls.
And keep in mind, like I'm not comfortable with this. I'm just like, I guess this is what I have to do for this guy that I'm about to date. So I'm like trying to pee, but like people are talking to me and it's like super uncomfortable. And I finally was like, I can't do this. And when I come back, I I guess he had done my laundry, but he had lost my laundry. And the whole rest of the dream is me fighting with him about the fact that he lost my laundry.
Okay, so now you have yourself on a public toilet with no walls
Yeah.
and no clothes. I'm getting a huge sense of butt vulnerability here.
That's exactly what that dream was about. It's about butt vulnerability.
Watch
You're
your
so
butt.
good. You're so, watch your butt, watch your butt, watch your butt. You're so good at this. But it's like, and then I had another dream. It was stupid. And that one was about comedy. So I didn't need that. I didn't need that. Like
Is
I
it
didn't
stuck with
need
you?
I didn't need my ex to be in there. I didn't need it to be this weird, like getting back together when I know 100%. Like, you know, when people are like, sure, but you're like, no, 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 no. Like
No.
100%
Yeah.
don't want that. We're talking about something 15 years ago. Like, what?
You have dream residue. It'll go away. It
I
just takes a while to
know.
wash off. Like I put this lotion on when I was at St. Pancras Station. I was just kind of waiting for the train. So I just put on, it was called Flowers. And it smells so bad. Like it smells like old man soap. And I can't get it off. I've washed my hands so many times. But it'll go away. And so will your dream.
The scent of our hands and dreams might last with us forever.
That
And I'm not.
ex-boyfriend scent will fade.
I hope so, God. But it is. I think the fact that it was so full-fledged. At some point, he's doing the dishes. Oh, at some point, I'm talking to somebody and I'm complaining about him. And then this guy turns around and it's him doing the dishes. And I was like, I can't. That's when I woke up, by the way. Like, I was like, I can't do this. Why? I don't know. I just,
Pee-wee's Big Adventure type dream.
yeah, it was
turns
just
around like, ha 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 ha. And you're like,
he has a giant spoon bigger than his body for some reason. Just
yeah,
like,
no.
I got a lot of sleep. Like it really ruined my sleep.
I'm sorry, that sucks. Cause it's like, it's good to get a lot of sleep, bad to have it be chock full of terrible dream.
I'm just waiting to look at my Fitbit and it'd be like, oh, you had 16 dreams and 4 hours of sleep. Like,
Did your Fitbit tell you that you dream?
no,
That'd be amazing.
it would be amazing though. What if it like transcribed your dreams?
Wait until that technology happens. Then advertisements are gonna like start like campaigns towards you, like whatever your dream was. Like
You wake up and you're like,
the
I want
white kids
Pinkberry.
washing
I don't doubt for a fact that that's going to happen.
Yeah, me either. Oh, we're totally invaded, which is kind of what your dream's about.
Yeah, I was invaded. I was invaded by a lot of messages.
Yeah.
I never want to go to the bathroom around other people.
Well, it's not the best, but like, why such a stance?
Because it really was traumatizing.
Okay.
So yeah,
Why? No, I
don't
don't
know.
know. Why was it so traumatizing?
I don't know. I don't want people talking to me. There was a comic, I forget whose joke it was, where they were like in a bathroom and the stalls, you know how this, at least in the US, maybe not in Europe, but the stalls, they're so wide that you can literally see like a whole person.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why are these, and
But you have to really be peeking to see it, you know?
yeah, but there's some,
You
I've been in some where it's like genuinely 2 inches and you're just like watching a woman wash her
ever try to
hands.
like put your coat, like you put the coat on the hook and then try to like hold it over?
Yeah. Try to make your, my cat's in the full
Don't
trash.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Like full trash can. I was like hearing crinkling and I was like, why? And just why are you so cute and annoying?
Trash cat.
You are a trash cat. He also still wakes me up. I mean, he's doing pretty good. Like I go to bed with him being wired, like 3 cups of coffee, wired crazy. And I just fall asleep with him prancing off my head. And then I'll wake up in a panic because he hasn't been prancing and I'll think he's dead and he's just kind of sleeping next to my pillow. But because he sees I'm awake, no, everything about this is a no. Because he sees that I'm awake, that'll wake him up. And then the next form of sleep is him prancing on my head. So I also think that might be some of what's happening. What are you doing to me?
Do you think that having a cat that shits in open air had a little bit to do with having a bathroom dream?
I did move his litter box. So the first 2 weeks I had him, I had his litter box and his litter box and his food and everything in my bedroom. And when I would leave the house, I would keep them like sequestered in my room. But like more and more, I've been keeping everything open. So I've been sleeping with the door open. I've been leaving the house and having him have full range of my apartment. And yesterday I did move his poop box. I did move his litter and his food and everything. And I put everything in the living room kind of area.
It's open. So I think we just discovered what your dream's about. We cracked that open. And the ex-boyfriend, like ex-cat, ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, maybe this is all about cats.
Yeah, I think it is.
Wow, I'm so simple.
Yeah. Oh my God. When Johnny interprets my dreams, I'm like, yeah, yeah, cool. I like cookies. All right.
I thought it was really complex, and it just turns out that I'm like, I don't know how my cat does it. He's so great. I just moved his bathroom to the living room. That's a big move.
That's a huge move.
It is a spaceship, so it's a really great bathroom.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's full-fledged crazy. Okay. How's everything? Everything good with you? Everything good with your dreams?
Yeah, I mean, besides the spiders,
So your brain like goes like you're either flying or the worst thing that's ever happened to you is happening to you.
yeah. Yeah, I've never had the flying dreams. I would love that if I was just like, like, carefree, just like sailing and saying hi to people as I pass them
Yeah.
by. That's how I fly low. So I can
Yeah, no,
still get
I see that. You're like, I don't want to be so up high that I can't say hi to my friends.
yeah, I keep it
Is that
grounded.
it? Yeah. Does anybody need a ride to Mars? I'm just going. No
Yeah. I mean, I
announcements.
had therapy today.
Oh, I would love to hear about your therapy.
It was me talking. I felt like I talked for a long time, and then I looked up and only 20 of the 50 minutes had gone by. And I was like, oh, this is like a nightmare, like when you're on stage and you're like, I'm about done. And then you're like, no, I have more time left than I had on
Yeah,
stage.
yeah. Somehow
I have to feel this.
yeah, sometimes time went backwards and I now have an extra 20 minutes.
I actually Googled whether or not this isn't the Google, but I actually Googled whether or not you could have two therapists at one time because um I I feel like I needed like a kind of therapy that is like the therapist acts more like a friend than someone who just listens to you talk, because I don't know like what I'm getting out of talking. It's nice to have the space to talk, because sometimes you have friends who look at their cats while you're speaking, but like
Eating a pen.
and then sometimes as I talk, I kind of discover things and stuff, but I don't like she chimes in sometimes to say like, oh, this kind of connects to that, but I don't know what to do with it. Like, I don't know what the practical application of anything is. Like, so, and I just wonder if like what was your therapy like? Did she like speak back to you like you were more having a conversation, or did she just listen mostly?
So she definitely lets me ramble, and then she'll be like, well, what does that remind you of? And I'll be like, I don't know. And she's like, you do. And then, you know what I mean? And then it's like watching a little kid struggle where you're just like, I don't fucking know. And she's like, you do. And you're just like, do I? If I did, I would fucking be like, just being like a,
Paying you wouldn't be
yeah,
here.
yeah. And then I'd be like, oh yeah, my dad does that. And she's like, yeah. And what kind of event in your life? And you're like, oh yeah, that. And like, she like, I feel like it's like, I would say like 70% of the time it's like having a babysitter make sure I don't put like a fork in an outlet, like just like
Yeah, but that's like that's nice, but it would be nice if she was like, um, if you put a fork in an outlet, you're likely to hurt yourself. But she doesn't. She'll be like, how does it feel to have put that fork in the outlet? And I'm dead.
yeah. Well, I would say like 70% of it is like having somebody like, like when you do like crazy drugs, like you do like, I don't know, like acid, you should have like almost like a babysitter, like somebody make sure that you don't like jump off a cliff.
Yeah.
I feel like she's that. So like it's just somebody like making sure I don't cry too hard. And then the other 30%, depending on where I am with something, is basically she might stop me and be like, well, that's unhelpful. Like, you know what I mean? Cause like, I'm the type of person that's like, I never do that. Or he always does that. Or like these kind of all encompassing. And she goes, well, that's one, just not true. And two, when you do that, you do X, Y, and Z. So do you see how this is a self-limiting belief
Okay,
for
that's
like,
good. Mine just started saying like, is there another way to look at that? And I'm like, I guess I could see it this way. Maybe I just need to give her some time. Maybe she just needs to get to know me before she starts making more connections. And
I think so. I mean, because I've seen my therapist for so long, all I remember is that I cried in her office for 3 years.
yeah.
So, and I remember being mad at her a lot. So she clearly said something I did not enjoy. but like I don't see her as consistently. I try, like she's away now, like she doesn't live in the city anymore. So, but she does come to the city every couple of months. So I will, when she's in the city, I'll always go see her. So I saw her this weekend and I don't know, like I didn't need to see her, but I won't pass up an opportunity to see her in person. And it was helpful to talk about things, but there was no, I feel like the sessions I usually do are like, I can't get out of my head. And she's like shaking me, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I needed any shaking this weekend. She was just kind of there to be like, well, it seems like you're handling it. And I was like, thanks. I think I am. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, now I just have Elvis in my head. I'm all shook up.
So yeah, I do think she kind of does need to get to know you better, and that's going to be helpful. But I also don't think there's anything wrong with being like, I don't know what to do, and I would love some guidance.
Okay. I always think I'm doing shit wrong. Like, am I doing therapy wrong? Am I doing right?
No, I just, you might need something differently. That could absolutely be true, but I would give it a little bit time to see.
Oh, I'm not going to stop going. I still think it's helpful. I do like
the idea that
you are missing that you're used to in a conversation with people, like the sort of cues that say, I get you, I understand, I agree or disagree. Those are absent.
Yes. And I do think that's one of the initial hard parts of therapy, because you'll just be like, blah, blah, blah. And you just want somebody to be like, yeah, that does suck. Or like, I'm sorry to hear that. And they're like, nothing. And you're like, cool. Am I wrong? Was I just wrong this whole time?
Yeah. 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 I'll ask her how she is at the beginning, and then she doesn't answer it. I'm like, all right. Yeah, that's really just a reflex. You just say, how are you to people? Don't even think about it.
Yeah. Now that you say it, I guess most of the time my therapist either says nothing or just like a kind of vague good.
I love that you didn't even notice.
You know, I don't wait for answers.
I know, you just start talking. I'm like, I have to like jump in.
I'm proud of everything you do to keep this relationship going. All the sacrifices.
Finally noticing.
Announcements?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you to all our Patreons, everybody that supports us. You guys are awesome. We really appreciate you. If you don't know and you do want to be supportive of our podcast, you can get weekly bonuses. You can get monthly bonuses. You can get stickers. You can become a Google guest. You can control our Googles. You can get my book. You can get Maria's album. You can get my albums. There's all these fun benefits to being a Patreon. And you can do that at patreon.com/2nondoctors. That's the full word doctors.
Yes. And you can follow us on the socials. We're at YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at 2nondoctors. It's the number 2 full word doctors. And then on Instagram at 2nondrs. And if you have time and you're feeling kind, please leave us a rate and review on Apple Podcasts, because it helps us out a lot. It helps us get seen. We love it. And we share it on our socials. And thanks to everyone who's left reviews. Have I mentioned that my album is out?
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Wow, that's incredible. Where can I get it, Maria?
Bandcamp, mariashahada.bandcamp.com. And then, I'm sorry, I'm going to say that again because that just annoyed me. mariashahada.bandcamp.com. And or you can stream it. And as far as live shows go, I don't know. I'm just doing shit.
Awesome. Great announcement. I am on kitty maternity leave, but I really wish that was the thing. It's like, I'm raising my kitten right now, so I'm super busy. But at the end of July, I will be at the DC Improv. I will be at the Punchline in Atlanta. Sometime in August, I'm at the Punchline in San Francisco. I'm in Pensacola and Panama City, Florida. Everything's at lizmealy.com.
You know what? I'm just going to announce, follow me on Instagram. I'd like to build my Instagram on YouTube. Actually, this is one thing I've been wanting to ask people. Follow me on YouTube. I need to build that. If you want videos from me. YouTube, it's Maria Shahada. Instagram is Maria Shahada. Twitter's Maria Shahada. Thanks.
I think on our YouTube, like our Tune On Doctors YouTube, it has connected accounts, like,
Okay.
and it will say like Maria and whatever. But yeah, everything's Maria Shahada. Go follow her on YouTube.
Except for TikTok, which is Maria Shahada Comedy. How did Maria Shahada? How did I miss that one
What?
on TikTok?
What is yours?
Maria Shahada Comedy.
Who took Maria Shahada?
Maria Shahada.
Who is she?
I don't know, some bitch.
I was talking to Alonzo Bowden about that because somebody took Alonzo Bowden, I think on TikTok and somewhere else. And so somewhere else he had something different. I was like, well, just find that on TikTok. And he was like, oh yeah, it's a good idea. I was like, so if you're going to have two outliers, at least have the similar, you know what I mean? Don't just keep having a different, like, anyway. Google's.
Yeah.
You want me to go first? You want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, get ready. How long does it take to withdraw?
Wait, we didn't do fan mail.
Oh no, we didn't do fan mail. I'm so sorry. You're right. Fan mail. Fan mail?
Yes.
Fan mail.
Fan mail. Okay, this is a YouTube comment from Tracy. They say, for Maria, she hottie. Thank you. That flashback to high school. Really, I do like enjoy the she hottie nickname. While there are no wires connected to most toilets, the ability to flush is dependent upon water pressure, which is supplied by electric motors pumping the water to the toilet and the sink and the shower. Smiley face. Oh.
Yeah. So it's so funny because I always knew that when your power goes out, you can't flush your toilet, but I didn't know why.
Yeah.
I just knew. It's like so weird, like when somebody will be like, yeah, but how? And you're like, we're not there. I don't know. I just know, like my brother is like the next level. Like I'll know things, but then my brother actually knows why. But like when he's not there, it's just like, I feel like that parent that's like, because I said so. Yeah. Like, because I said so.
It just is.
It just is.
Yeah.
Like, I just know this, but I don't know why. And I don't know how. So it's always nice when somebody tells you like, here. Okay.
I think this is why we started the podcast, is so people could tell us like what's going on.
Yeah. Like
tell us.
Like, yeah, I know like a third of the information. If somebody like the internet or a fan could tell me the rest of it. And I feel like Tracy nailed that.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, so now we know.
Now you all know.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure all our fans are like, we know. Yeah. Definitely know. Definitely know the whole time
right now. Like, I know.
I know. Yeah. It's just my parents have lost power so many times that's just something you just get to a point where you're just like, that's just something I know now.
Yeah.
Google's?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do
it. Okay. How long does it take to withdraw from caffeine?
Okay.
So it's not even caffeine necessarily that I'm going to go off of. I just need to go off tea just to expect, because I've realized with everything, all the experiments I've done, I always keep tea in there. And I'm just wondering if that's why I pee all the time, because I'm a tea drinker. And there's caffeine. I mean, it's green tea and it's black tea. And black tea, I don't think it's as much as coffee, but it's a fair amount. And even green tea is a fair amount. So it's like.
Green tea actually has more caffeine. No, wait. I don't know if it's like less caffeine than black tea, but it's a slower release. So the caffeine effects last longer.
Yeah. Like I don't know. It feels like an edible sometimes where you're just like, woo, 2 hours later, you're like, woo, I'm awake.
Yeah. Green tea worse before bed.
Yeah. I've made that mistake many times. Okay. So today is going to be day one of caffeine withdrawal. And what's interesting is like, I've had a couple of drives in the last like 2 months where like, I just like wake up at 6 a.m., get in the car and just start driving. And it won't be until we'll drive 4 hours without stopping. And then I'll be like, I have a headache. And that's when I'm just like, oh, is that caffeine withdrawal? Like, fuck, I'm addicted and I don't even drink coffee. Anyway, they say caffeine withdrawal symptoms start 12 to 24 hours. They peak, like I would say the peak withdrawalness is between 24 and 51 hours. And they can last anywhere from 2 to 9 days. And basically they say any habitual consumption so even like just one small cup of coffee a day can make you have withdrawal symptoms. So it's not even like you have to be like addicted and have like 7 cups of coffee a day. Like just the fact that you have a cup of coffee every day. And then the symptoms of withdrawal, which I think we kind of all know, is like anxiety, cognitive effects, fatigue, headaches, and mood changes. So we talk every day. So I apologize now. Like, should I start now? I mean, I wake up and do this without caffeine. So this is my personality, but I think it might get worse.
Okay. That's fine. You could be crazy.
I'm not gonna be crazy. I'm just gonna be like, what? Why? Like, it's just gonna be snippy. I think I'm gonna be snippy.
You could be snippy. It's
Okay.
like, I don't care, but so what's the purpose of it? Oh, because you're peeing a lot.
Yeah, and I read somewhere that all the tea might be an issue. And I've never heard anybody on the internet ever say anything bad about tea. And now I'm like, and that's why I've never cut it out. Like, even when I've cut out like processed sugar, I've always had like, green tea. I've never gone without tea because I'm a tea
drink
lady.
herbal tea?
I don't even know if it's the caffeinated. Like, they just said tea. Like, they didn't even say anything about caffeine. It's just
you need another
tea
source. Like, they should.
I know
why tea would cause you to pee more.
I told you I only know
if anything,
a
it's
third of
because
all
there's
information.
water. And so if you're cutting out tea, you might as well cut out water. So at this point, it doesn't even make sense to cut out tea.
No, but okay. So tea, like, they even say like when you have too much tea, like, you don't know, like, if you're somebody that has like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of dandelion tea or dandelion flower. Like, I don't even know if that's true, but there's like certain teas that have like effects on your body. And if you have too much of it, you're going to like mess yourself up. So I don't know. Like, I don't know.
How long are you going to give it before, like, to see if any changes?
I'm going to try to do it a month.
A month. Okay. I will be with you for some of that. So that's going to be fun.
Okay. Can't wait for us both to just be yelling at each other.
I can't wait.
I don't know.
I'm drinking bubble tea in front of you. Have like a mocha.
I think what bums me out the most is if I do get the results I want and it's my favorite thing.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to get the, I mean, not this, sorry. Like, I mean, I hope that you find a solution for your overactive bladder, but I don't think it's tea. I just don't. Okay. I don't think it's specifically tea. Maybe it's water.
Well, as my doctor,
I know.
I want that. I want you to be right.
I could be like, if caffeine were the cause, I would say, okay, that's interesting. But just tea, you need a new source.
Okay, but that's the other thing I can start with. Like, I'll start with the 2 caffeinated teas that I regularly drink and then back away slowly.
You love to like put restrictions on yourself and like fucking mean restrictions of stuff you love.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like
is it a form of cutting?
And you feel like it is. It's like emotional cutting or something. It's like you have a Catholic guilt and you feel like you need to punish yourself or something. I don't know what it is.
I don't, but it's because I don't feel good.
I know, but it's always like, so like, it's just like the one thing you love. I guess if it were me, I would be like, all right, well, I just won't drink past 7 p.m. I won't drink any water or anything. But I don't know what you're going through, so maybe I'm being insensitive. But I've known you for a long time, and you put pretty heavy restrictions on yourself the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know what my problem is. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, all right.
All right, what'd you Google?
Actually, mine is coffee related. So.
Oh, look at us.
Why is coffee called Cup of Joe? So,
sorry. It's just the cutest Google I've ever heard.
Why do we call it Cup of Joe? Cup of Joe is one of coffee's most common nicknames. Oh, this is okay. Unlike Java, which refers to a specific coffee growing region, the origins of Cup of Joe are unknown. Great, cool. But I'm going to keep reading anyway, even though what they basically said up front is we don't know, but that's what we do on the podcast. The term first started appearing in print in the 1930s, with the first occurrence in a book coming in 1936. Here's a few theories. Fine. Martinson Coffee was Joe's coffee. Martinson Coffee has trademarked the term Cup of Joe, suggesting that the slang term comes from the company's early years. Founded in 1898 by Joe Martinson, who reportedly had a bigger than life personality. Coffee may have, you got a guy who runs a coffee place with a bigger than life personality, just all hopped up on caffeine. That makes sense.
Yeah. He's like, guys, this stuff's crazy.
Hey, I'm Joe. He's like just popping into people's lives, like next to their table. Can I get you another cup of coffee?
And they're just like, I want to be a cup of Joe.
Yeah, I want whatever drug that guy's got. So it's been, coffee may have locally been called Joe's Coffee or Cup of Joe. And then I think Martinson Coffee was in Mad Men in season 2, which is cool. And then there's Josephus Joe Daniels. I think it's Josephus, which is not, Johnny didn't think that was a weird full name. Josephus.
Josephus.
I've never heard it before. But he banned alcohol on ships, pissed off all the Navy people. And the strongest drink available was a cup of Joe. That's what they called it because of Josephus. Josephus. And then I'm just skipping the rest of that story because it's kind of boring. Java and mocha equals Joe. Linguists sometimes argue that Joe could be shortened versions of Jomaki. Jomaki, which was a common nickname for a coffee in the 1930s, was a combination of mocha and Java. The average man's drink, since Joe refers to an average man, the average Joe, cup of Joe. And that's it.
It's so weird how something that was so long ago is just like in our vocabulary and we don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Like, what is it, the 1800s? And like, I never even like, I don't know, that's like, it's when somebody has like a real impact. Like, I don't know, that blows my mind in a lot of ways where like, there's another example. Crap, it's gonna drive me nuts of just like something that was just like, oh yes, this has been since like the 1800s, and you're just like, what? We need to update software. Why are we still saying this?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I don't know a lot of people who go around being like, I'd love a cup of Joe.
Yeah, it's still like advertised though. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have brands called Cup of Joe, or you know what I mean? Like you still have like, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. There's like, yeah.
Okay.
I think I need that caffeine now.
Yeah. We're both feeling those effects.
All right, let's get personal. What's the most immature thing you do?
Genuinely, like everything I do is super mature. Talk to my best friend every day.
No, I don't accept that.
I like wearing a crop top, super immature.
Yeah, I'm there.
and Converse, immature.
Yeah, do that as well.
Taking dance lessons.
I don't accept that one.
Okay.
I think any kind of learning,
It's
any
with
new
children. It's me and
maybe?
5-year-olds in tutus.
Nope. Yeah, no. Yeah, you're right. Is that
I'm
true?
kidding. No.
No, I don't accept dance lessons. Any kind of learning, any skill whatsoever, hobby or otherwise, is not immature.
Okay. Speaking of that, I you mentioned drawing. I don't know if it was in a bonus or on a podcast, but you were like, I don't want to. I've just talked to a lot of people lately who have taken up drawing. It's weird. It's like,
yeah.
After you mentioned it, and like 3 or 4 other comedians were like, yeah, I started drawing, and I'm like, people do it.
It can happen. I know people that paint.
Yeah.
I guess I just want my doodles to be cooler.
I'm waiting until I'm like 80 to start painting. I'm like, I just wait until I,
Oh, okay. Wow. That's a long time.
That's a
real procrastination move.
It's like way down the line of interests, but I do want to do it. It's a real procrastination move. Wear braces.
Yep. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Google my health.
Yeah. No, that has to do with socioeconomic abilities and job. I mean, mine is interrupt people, even though I know where it comes from, which is like ADD and like forgetting and stuff like that. I am old enough to have fixed that. I just apologize more.
Yeah.
But I do think it's quite immature, my interruption habits. Complaining.
I always
There's
thought it was
so
out of childlike excitement. It's just like, I had a thought, I'm going to say it now. And you're like, well, I'm in the middle of my thought.
yeah, well, that's literally the definition of immaturity, childlike excitement. It's I now know it's very much associated to like ADD and like probably dyslexia as well. Just this like I'm afraid I'm gonna forget it, but like I'm an adult enough that I could like write it down. I think what's hard with the podcast specifically is like the flow of it. But I would say I'm 10% better in a personal conversation. Not that much better, but 10% better. Yeah, so I think that, and then I would say complaining. I complain a lot.
Yeah, I think my negativity is pretty immature. Just like, I'm hot, I hate this. Or like any whining.
Yeah. And what I've noticed. So I do turn my complaining into jokes. I think we both do, which is, I would like to think masterful and a great way of reusing shittiness in our lives. But there is a lot of complaining that never makes it into jokes because it's just me being a brat. So
I think I'm a brat too. That's so funny.
Yeah, I have some brat-like qualities, and I can catch myself, but even when I catch myself, it doesn't stop me from feeling them and voicing them.
Why do you think we're brats?
I think we have a low tolerance for bullshit. This is what I tell myself. Low tolerance for bullshit. And I think we do have a chip on our shoulders as like tiny women that are just like overlooked. And so
100%.
I think a lot of little things that most people would be like, oh, it's not a big deal. You'd be like, yeah, but after it happens to you the 1,000,000th time, it is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be mad about it and everybody's going to hear about it. So like, I think we both have examples of being like hit constantly by backpacks, like on crowded trains. I think people like, we both talked about like when somebody stands in front of you, like you don't exist and I swear to God, Hulk, like, I just want to be like, Rah! Like, just like pick them up and throw them. Like, I'm a person.
I know the same. Like, yeah, I always like picture like on an elevator, I was standing in the middle and someone comes and stands directly in front of me. And then you just see my arms go out to the side. Like, I'm here. What the fuck? I got mad today because some guy kept like inching closer into my space, like as we were waiting for the train. And I was like, hey, and then I'm like inching away. And then I hear this woman go, hey, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I just did it to her.
Yeah. I noticed when my brother was here, his gait, he's always just going a little bit to the right. So I refuse to be on that side of him.
Yeah, I've always had to switch sides with people before. Yeah.
So it's just because especially when you're on the side, you're like, I'm in the grass, man. Like, I'm in the, like, how do you not see that you're pushing me off the road? I was like, are you mad at me? But he just he doesn't see it. So if I go on the left side of him, it's fine. Like it really is. And then if he wants to teeter off into grass, that's all him. But there are little things where like, I don't know. I really think being a tiny woman has made me.
Oh my God. Do you know how many times I've been overlooked when there's like a bar or a sort of situation where people like, there isn't like a real line. So people go, who's next? And someone goes up. I'm like, no. All of you know, I was here. You know that. You saw me. I know you saw me.
Yeah. And it's just like, as somebody that has big presence as like performers and like speakers, it's not like I use it all the time, but like it does come out on a bus. Like it is like, hey, you gotta project.
Yeah.
Get the fuck away from me. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like, so I don't know. I would say like sometimes I make a mental note to complain less. And like, have you ever heard those stories? Like, I don't know, like my grandfather is like a great example. Like when he died, everybody was just like, he never complained a day in his life. And I was like, well, there's some things he should have complained about. Like, I don't know if that's like, it's admirable and that's great, but like, he also didn't go to the hospital on time. Like some things you need, like, I get that there's pride and it's annoying, but also sometimes you need to be annoying to get the help you need.
Yeah, my dad thought he had a stroke, and then like a day later was talking to his brother and was like, I think I might be having a stroke. He was like, you need to go to the hospital. And he's like, but he let it go for the longest time because he didn't want to complain. I love a complaint. What do you like? How would you define bratty?
It's a little bit, it's before a Karen, like it's before somebody like making a big deal out of something that isn't a big deal and them not getting their way. But I would say it's like a little bit past a there's a valid. Thank you. I could not get that out. There's a valid complaint in it, but it's taken a little too far. So like there's a gate before you go up the steps to my apartment building. So it's a gate, steps, and then the front door. And both the gate will just be left open, which like goes in front of the whole sidewalk, which is like crazy. But also I'll be trying to leave my apartment building and I'll open the gate and almost like a car rushing to get in front of you because they don't want to be behind you. People were, and I'm like, just let me get outside of my apartment. Like what? Who's in this? Like, it just makes me crazy. So now I like literally wait an absurd amount of time for people to pass me because that motion of when people don't wait makes me crazy and I'll be crazy for hours. and it would be like, if you called me at that moment, I'd be like, so there's things where like, is it a big deal? No, but all it takes is like 2 people a week to piss me off and I'll just have a conniption.
I feel like what pisses me off it's stuff that like I wouldn't do. And I want that same consideration. Like besides like being overlooked, that stuff pisses me off. But like when I was on the bus and these 2 guys got on the bus and they were both on Zoom calls that were separate Zoom calls with no headphones. And so they're both loudly speaking. I recorded some of it because I'm crazy. Loudly speaking on the bus next to me. Empty
like it's their
bus,
office,
but right next to me. Like, everyone's doing it. Everyone's using like cafes, like they're their office. They're on Zoom calls without headphones now. Like it's driving me fucking crazy.
That's
so they had
okay.
the 2 Zoom calls separate. Then a girl like 5 rows back, then she gets on the phone and she starts having a phone call. And like, I was just like, I'm going to burn down this bus.
I somewhat get like if they had their headphones in and you're hearing them respond, because how is it too much different from 2 people speaking on the bus?
Yeah,
like
but if you say that, then how's a Zoom call that much different from that?
That's true. I want to ruin that meeting, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to pop up and be like,
now.
I want to pop up and be like, hey, I never got my paycheck.
Is there someone I can speak to about that? Yeah, but I think it's just like the same because I wouldn't do that, and like there's like noise space that you take up.
Oh, it's noise pollution. It's absolutely noise pollution, and that's why there's quiet cars on certain trains. I am near New Jersey Transit, and I think Amtrak have that. I don't know.
Yeah, they have it here, and actually, I had a flatmate who like it would drive her. Actually, she couldn't sit in the quiet car because if anyone wasn't quiet, it would drive her even more crazy because that's where they were supposed to be quiet.
Yeah.
I was in the quiet car once and this guy, he comes in, he puts his stuff behind my head, then he takes off his shoes and socks and he's rubbing his feet together and then he's listening to his voicemail like on his phone for everyone to hear. And then just like leaving a voice message and then listening and I was like, hey, this is a quiet car. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. But his feet were still out.
You're like, everything about you is wrong. It's not
your whole thing. I hate it.
Yeah, this is the don't be a douche car. We just renamed it. And there's some habits that you don't realize are douchey. Let me make a list for you.
Yeah. But I guess that's how I'm kind of bratty.
Yeah. I know I have bratty habits. I try to reel them in, but it's not always helpful.
No.
I would love to hear what people think they're immature about, because I also think what you think you're immature about is different from what other people would be. Like, what do you think? Do you think there's something that's more immature about me other than this bow?
Your headband?
Yeah. I knew you were going to say that.
Especially when it's sticking straight up.
I also wish I was wearing one of my t-shirts that has like a cartoon character on it. I do have a lot of cat shirts.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. You're like, is there anything else that you think is immature about me? I'm like, I don't know. Everything behind you. Yeah, stop it. Stop guessing before I say it.
My wall
Your
decor
toys.
of like angry cartoon characters with knives.
Yeah,
Like
all your toys, your cat. Like, no, I don't
my
know.
little pen has a cat on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just an immature person. I mean, I collect lunch boxes. Like I'm not.
I mean, I've painted my room the set of Friends without realizing it. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. I would love to. I just realized that it would be too exhausting to list everything that's immature about us.
yeah.
We would love to hear from you. We would love to hear what you feel is immature about either
yourselves.
us.
Don't tell us.
Yeah,
Don't tell us.
or you. You can write to us at twonondoctors@gmail.com. That's twonondoctors@gmail.com. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.